Hey everybody, Jeremy here, and today I was in Toys R Us looking for one thing and one thing only, and thankfully they had it. This is the new NECA Toys 7-inch Kratos figure from the upcoming video game God of War. This is the older Kratos, the dad of war, as some people have called it. And he costs about $21.99 inside Toys R Us. Now, this is a very compact box, and it's a little bit deceptive on as many things as you get inside this box. Because in addition to Kratos, you also get the Leviathan axe, a dagger, and a shield. The shield is sort of tucked behind Kratos. You got to peek in there a little bit in order to see it. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It's like a little window box packaging there. And there's on the back, it tells you the little synopsis. In this video game, Kratos is now living in the land of Norse gods and monsters. And he's got to be showing his son the ropes. And at the same time, probably try to calm down that inner rage that we love so much in the other God of War games. But yeah, NECA is the company that makes this. They made the really cool Ultimate Kratos figure, which we will compare to this older Kratos. But for right now, let's take this guy out and check him out. And by the way, he has 36 points of articulation, so that's not bad. So we're going to start by looking at the front of Kratos from the waist up. And we're just going to hold it right here on this image for a little bit. Because every time I review a NECA figure, one of the main things I always just keep on going back to is detail. The amount of detail that these guys have managed to fit into a 7-inch figure at the $20, $21 price range is absolutely phenomenal. Just look at all of the textures. This is the main thing about this Kratos, texture. These different types of clothing that Kratos is wearing right now, it has all different types of texture that you can feel and see. Like this sash type thing. Like, I'm not too sure what it's called. He's got on a whole bunch of little pieces. You can just look at the little individual patterns all along here. That's highlighted by a little bit of this gold stitching, like right near the top. And on Kratos' face itself, the wonderful paint of Kratos' pale skin. He looks a little bit dirty, scruffy. The beard is great. This figure just looks simply amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that's not to mention the shield that Kratos is carrying. Just look at that thing. It's beautiful. Look at it. We've got that wonderful gold, the weathering, the dry brushing. So you got that little bit of black going all around that gold as well. It's a very intricate, detailed, very beautiful, it's like an ornament. It's like an art piece that he's wearing on his arm. Now let's move it over here and take a look at this axe. Now this axe has carvings all along the handle and on the actual axe itself. It has these different design, it has these different patterns, and it looks really cool. And then he also, there's also some texture and some paint along the grip where Kratos' arm is. And it just really stands out as being something that's absolutely phenomenal. Looks like he has like a little horn on the back. He has all these little bits and pieces that are just hanging off of him. And he looks like a wilderness tribal person. And of course, living out there in the harsh wilderness, he is going to have all these different things on him. Now we're looking at him from the waist down now, and just that wonderful paint and detail that goes with his upper torso. It matches and goes down to his legs as well, all the way down to those wraps that are surrounding his feet. That's great. He's got this little pouch right here. It doesn't open, but you can see the nice little golden button on there. And it's just really nice. Really nice clothing that he has. And I really especially like the wraps that are around both of his legs. And it looks like he's wearing like a tunic or something right here. Like, it's just really well done. And it's not just molded onto the leg. You see this? We can just move these individually. It's not cloth. These aren't cloth goods, but they are very well done for the plastic that they're made out of. Another thing that we want to look at, the biggest accessory that comes with this figure, is this really awesome shield. Now this is a very great looking shield, as I already pointed out. I love the paint, I love the dry brushing. It gives it that nice, really, it adds a lot of depth to it. But then also on the opposite side of this shield, on the inside of the shield, it's got this really nice red and gold pattern, and it just looks great, you know, as opposed to just having the front of the shield look the best, because who's going to look at the inside of the shield? NECA decided to take it, always they're taking it that extra step forward and putting some really nice design on the inside of that shield as well, even though most of the time you're not going to see it. Now here's the thing about the shield. When we take it off, you can see that there's no handle, there's no grip. Kratos doesn't actually hold on to the shield at all. So the way that you get him to hold on to it is like right here on his arms. There are like these little silver pieces that are on his arm, and one of them you can take off and basically peg the shield on. So once you take that piece off, you got to be real careful because it's very easily lost, and chances are you probably are going to lose it. But once you take it off, then you'll be able to just really easily put this shield in there. And it fits right in there like that, and it's a very tight grip. You don't have to worry about it going anywhere. And then the last accessory that Kratos has is this dagger, and I put it inside of a sheath already, but you know, it's just a pretty basic dagger. The wraps on it look pretty good. They gave it a couple of different tones of paint, and it is textured. It looks like it's been wrapped in like some type of cloth or bandages or something like that. But I'm just going to put this right back inside of its holder where it belongs, and that's probably not something that you're going to really be posing Kratos up with, because the axe looks so much better than a tiny dagger. But it's also cool that they included it in with that, and this is only about 21 bucks, so the more accessories you get for that price, it's always good. Now Kratos has 36 points of articulation. We're only going to go through a few of them right here, right now. Great thing about this guy is he does have double jointed elbows, and this being a NECA piece out of the box, it is a little bit stiff. So if you want to work it out with like a hair dryer or something so it can be a little bit looser, you can do that. Or you can just be real careful and hope that you don't break it. But as you can see, bam, we got those double jointed elbows, and that's great. And that's exactly how I was able to get him into this pose where he kind of has the axe behind his head like this. It looks very cool when you can get that double jointed elbow engaged. Now, as for his legs, do they spread out? Of course they spread out. Not that much. So really good articulation on the legs, and we do have double jointed knees. Always great. Peg holes at the bottom of the feet for your stands. You know, NECA does sell stands, whether it's the figure stands with a little clamp or just the stands where you can stick the foot into the base. They do have those as well. Also on the feet, we got ourselves some pivot, pretty good pivot actually. See how wide you can swing that pivot, and then there's toe articulation too. Kratos' head moves up a pretty fair way. Let me move this axe down. It moves up pretty good ways, you know, so he's looking up pretty good. He can look down pretty good. And of course, you got your left, your right, your side to side, and your tilt. Also really good stuff. So, you know, good points of articulation. You can get him into some really cool poses if you wanted to, with or without the help of a stand. And he does stand up by himself pretty well too. And now for comparison's sake, we have the NECA Toys Ultimate Kratos on the left and the 2018 Kratos on the right. And of course, they both look amazing. They both look awesome. But we can see that the Ultimate Kratos has a little bit more of a paler look than Kratos does on the right. So they still look pretty good. The red is more defined on the newer Kratos than the older Kratos. And of course, the Ultimate Kratos came with a lot more accessories as well. He's also a little bit more nimble, just due to the fact that he has less of those plastic clothing pieces that can just restrict movement just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So he's definitely more nimble. You can definitely stretch him out more, a lot more comfortably than you can this particular Kratos. But it kind of fits, you know, because the older Kratos kind of seems like he would be, you know, a lot more agile, a lot more full of grit and anger and everything. And then the newer Kratos is just more stoic. So, you know, I wouldn't expect him to be jumping around and leaping and swinging as much as he did in his younger days. So it definitely does work. And you can definitely see the differences between these two, and they both look fantastic next to each other. So once again, this is a great job by NECA, a grand slam. They knocked it out of the park, as they tend to do with a lot of their figures, and I'm very rarely disappointed by them. For this price to be in the low 20s, and these accessories that you get, and the detail of Kratos and all of his weapons and everything, it's just really, really good. It's a really great job. So NECA, darn good job on this. And also, they're going to be coming out, if it's not out already, with a 1/4 scale Kratos, just like this one, but he's going to be in that 1/4 scale. So he's going to be super tall and massive. And you know, that's probably going to cost a little bit over $100, but that one should also be really awesome. But for right now, the 7-inch version, beautiful. Good job, NECA. And that's going to do it for this review. So just go online to toysrus.com if you live in an area where one or more of the stores are closing down and you can't find it because maybe inventory isn't coming in anymore. You can always find it on toysrus.com. And if that fails, maybe you can give Amazon a try. It's kind of hit or miss with that. I've only seen it for a reasonable price one time, but toysrus.com is pretty much going to be your best bet. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll talk to you later.